Tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. I listened to the metronome count away the seconds. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. You're wasting your time. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick. I put my hoof on the metronome and turned it off. You're wasting time. I know that I'm wasting time. I've been wasting time for 2 whole years, just delaying something that every pony had to face. Death. And each day that passes, it got a little harder to visit her. The mare I love, ObabScribbler. Each day, I would think of visiting her, but I could never do it. I could never work up the courage to accept that she was gone and never coming back. Every day I come back to the old apartment that we used to call home, expecting to hear a heavy bass rattling the door as I try to unlock it. I used to hate it, but now I'm sad that I won't come home to the deafening noise. I sighed and walked over to the closet. I picked out a scarf at random and threw it around my neck. Today, I was going to do it. I was going to visit her and tell her that I'm sorry. Sorry that I forgot about her. Sorry that I got so caught up in my work that I neglected her. Sorry for every time I walked out that door. Sorry. I have a show tonight, Vinyl. Is tomorrow fine? I always had an excuse. Work, 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 work. So caught up in work that I forgot to make time for the important things. I walked over to the door and opened it with a hoof. I walked through it and shut it closed behind me, pulling the key out of my mane as I did so and flicking it onto the lock. I pulled it out and walked down the stairs. What makes today so different? Why am I doing this today? Why did I have to be the one to say goodbye? These questions swarmed in my head as I made my way to the door at the far end of the lobby. I yanked the door open to let in Mother Nature's fury. I walked into the furious winter storm, with my scarf whipping around me as the winds fought to keep me indoors. But now, this time I was going to do it. I trudged through the heavy snow, making my way to the place I knew she'd be. Manhattan Cemetery for the Dead. I could see the sign from here. It beckoned to me, promising peace of mind and peace for my lover. I stopped at the gate. This is the farthest I've ever gone, always stopping at the gates. I pushed them open and they let out a tortured shriek. I walked into the cemetery, pausing to examine my surroundings. Where was she? I turned left, looking for the neon blue of her mane. I saw a blue flash out of the corner of my eye and turned to see a tombstone. ObabScribbler, 1991 to 2015. Cause of death? I turned the corner, whistling a merely song that I couldn't quite remember the name of, and pulled out my keys before stopping in front of the strangely silent door. She must be sleeping, I thought to myself. It's rather late after all. I jammed the key set into the door and entered, slowly lowering my cello case to the ground as I trotted over to the bedroom. Nothing. The bed was made and looked like no one had slept in it for days. I called out her name, and the room echoed it back to me. I began searching the house, the living room, kitchen, spare bedroom, nothing. I stopped in front of the bathroom door and knocked. No response. I opened the unlocked door and saw my lover strewn across the floor with 3 white cuts on each of her front hooves, and vodka bottles broken around her, and a note so covered in blood that I had trouble reading it.
Dear Tabby, I love you. I still do, even after my death. I love you with all my heart, but I never saw you. You were always working, providing money for us, but I couldn't take it. I offered to come with you for a few of your concerts or tours, but the fancy nobles would just laugh when they see me and kick us out. I couldn't take it anymore. Not seeing you, not seeing your beautiful smiling face. I've only seen you twice in the past few months, and even then, it was never for long. I love you, and you should never forget it. Final.
Suicide. I felt tears begin to brim my eyes. This was my fault. My fault she was dead. I just ignored her like she'd always be there when I got back. I never saw the pain behind those brilliant red eyes of hers, silently asking me to save her. I thought there would always be time for us later, that my fame and fortune was more important. I felt the tears that my eyes fought to keep at bay break loose and began to run rivets down my fur before falling to the ground. I failed her. Now she's gone. Gone forever. And even after she died, I ignored her. For 2 years, I refused to go to her grave. I didn't even show up at her funeral. She deserved better than me. Some pony less selfish, willing to put her in front of their work. If I could make that choice, I know I would choose her in a heartbeat. But there really is no such thing as a second chance.
Tavi!
I whipped my head around. I knew that voice. I listened to it for years, and even as the rest of her fades from my memory, her voice still remains strong.
Tavi!
I heard the voice whisper my name again. I couldn't tell where it came from.
Tavi! I was so lonely. You left me alone here for 2 years. Not a word, not a visit.
I saw a ghostly white mare with dull ruby eyes trot out of a gravestone.
You just left me. I loved you, but you tortured me with every lie and broken promise you made. I cried every night you were gone, but I couldn't take you from your dream. You were so happy, and it was slowly killing me.
I tried to form a response to the ghostly mare's words, but my voice wouldn't work.
I thought you would learn something when I died. I came to see you, even when you ignored me. But you were doing the same thing you always did. Working. Ignoring every pony else and working your life away.
She turned around and walked back into the headstone.
And the funny thing is, I still love you.